Just going for bottom back, be back now.
So, welcome to race number 2. If you just joined us, thank you very much for joining us on the stream. I think Steph's going to be looking after the stream anyway, and he'll be informing me what's going on there while we're looking through. Unfortunately, Jonathan not joining us in the box today because he's got a bit of internet connection problems. But anyway, looks like the sun is shining. Yes, it is race number 2 here at the South African Academy Online Racing. And by the way, it is the Club Championships. Wow, what an exciting race it was last week in China. I tell you what, it was absolutely nail-biting. Nesmax coming around that last bend, and almost taken by Dan, who's unfortunately not here with us this evening. So nevertheless to say, not all is lost, because we do have Tix back, and that's a good thing, because last week he was absolutely dying to race, but he was unavailable. So just to let you know, yes, everything is up and ready for today's race, and we'll be taking you through the first quali session, which is around about 17 minutes to go. So I'm sure these eager beavers are going to be out and ready to show what they can do on this track. It is obviously here in Italy. It's Monza. So we'll see how they're going to be handling this track. There are many stories to tell on this track, as well as every single little bend and twist that comes about. Obviously gives you the thrill of speed. As you can see, we are on board with Dylan at the moment in the Haas as he's going through his sectors. Obviously, it's a non-assist league, so there are no assists on at the moment. And I can assure you it is going to be for interesting viewing at the moment. I'm sure that many of the clubs have been practicing the braking points, as well as what sort of tire compounds to be introducing onto this track here this evening. And I think the strategy's been worked out between the teams. As you know, we have a club championship happening here on the South African Academy Online Racing, and it's going to be an interesting one at that. So we've got a couple of members out on the track at the moment. I'll be giving you also some overview of what is fitted at the moment. It looks like a majority are on the super softs, so that's going to be the first practice or qualifying session, should I say. The first quali session is going to be all on the super softs at the moment. So just taking you through. If you are joining the stream, what do you think is going to be the time set by these gentlemen this evening? What do you think the qualification time is going to be for the last quali section? Who is your prediction? Who do you think is going to be in that last 10? Why don't you give Steph a good idea by just putting it on the stream and giving us, say hello to us, and also it's once again great to have you on board with us, and we'll be looking forward to interact with you during the 3 qualification sessions, and then on to the 50% racing that's happening here on the South African Academy Online Racing. So we'll be bringing it all to you this evening, and as we go along, we'll let you know who is leading the championship at the moment, and who is closely followed in second position, and then third, fourth, and then the last one, which is fifth. We'll let you know exactly what's going on there as well. So we're just going to sit back and relax a little bit. 14 minutes to play at there. You can see Dylan's just put on a time of 1:22.800, and Sackman has also put on a time of 1:23.519. That's giving you a bit of an indication of what's going on. Skadonks racing for some stuff racing there. You can see he's just put on a 1:23.869, as well as Iceman, but Muna comes in with a 1:22.248 racing for T and B. So there we go. Great stuff from him at the moment. So yes, nice to have the Munna back racing for T&B. Yeah, what a time from him at the moment. A 1:22.248 in this first qualification session. Him and Motor DW are the teammates for T&B. Their other teammates are obviously Gav Pig and Nesmax, who are sitting in the pits at the moment, but it looks as though Gav Pig is out there, and he's coming on a 4th place on this particular session in the Red Bull. There's Gav Pig. He's got the black and gold tilt on the back of his helmet there. He's put on a 1:22.853. So nice time from him as well. But nice to see Dylan up in second position there on his quali. Very nice time from him at the moment. Pete Ballas, good to see him back at the moment. It's great to have him on board with us. It looks as though we've also got TMB Foss. He's also back at the moment. So we'll be seeing what he's going to be doing. He's going to be racing for SAAOLR this evening. And nice to see that. There we go. Motor DW puts on a fantastic time. But Sackman comes back and really shows his pace on this track this evening. That's great stuff from him. He's put on a 1:21.850. So that's obviously going to be something special from him. He's done a very nice qualification time in that, I think, yeah, it is the Mercedes-Benz. So really nice time from him this evening. So we'll be watching to see what he's going to be up to this evening here. But still waiting for Tux to go out, as well as Springbok Gamer. Haven't got times from them. Vino for real, nobody at the moment. Thomas, no times from them at the moment. But Nesmax 7, he's going to have to go out very soon because they need to make that top 15. Obviously, I've just had word that Weza is going to be on his way. And he's running a little bit behind time, so he will probably miss the qualification, but will be in the race this evening for the South African Academy Online racing team. So we'll be watching out from them. Nice to see the SAAOLR boys in. Obviously, they've got their team all ready and set up. There's Dylan, obviously the leader of the pack there. Foss is racing for them this evening. We got Marius, which he's just moved up the grid a little bit. I think he's in 12th position at the moment. So we'll be watching what he's going to be doing. He had a very successful race last week. Very nice work from him. He was pretty quick around China. So I'm sure he's going to be wanting to put his feet down and show what he's worth. And that is for SAAOLR, the SAAOLR club. So we'll be watching him quite carefully as well. Who else is there? Another Williams. Yes, it is Pete Ballas. I think he's going to be there as well. Say again there, Staff. I didn't hear that.
I said the Sackman is also racing.
Yeah, the Sackman. Sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. Sackman, who's actually put on that amazing time. I knew I had one miss there. But it seems though he's done very nicely himself. So great stuff from him. We'll be watching and seeing what he's going to be up to this evening as well. On board currently with Nesmax at the moment. I want to see what he's going to be doing because he is one of the major contenders. Won last week's Grand Prix. in this Red Bull, so he did an absolute fantastic job. But I must say, he had Dan on him, and it was so close towards the end of the race that if there was probably another 200 meters to go, he might have been in trouble, because Dan caught him very quickly, and obviously Dan got additional points for having the fastest lap of the event last week. So that was also quite an interesting one from us there. Sackman obviously racing for the SAAOLR boys, so we'll be interested to see what he's doing. Now, there we go. TMB Wazzy, he is racing for the South African Academy Online Racing guys, for the team as well there, and he's put on a 21.950, so it's so close there. But I think the Sackman is wanting that time to go right through to the quali number 3, because wow, it was an absolute quick time from him. So we'll be watching out to see what these guys are going to be. Vino for real moved up to 4th position there. He's in the Force India car, obviously now called Racing Point. So when we get the 2019 F1, that will be his car that he'll be racing, or the team that he'll be racing for. If we go into that, I think we might just finish just before the F119 comes out, so we'll be doing a rework on there. Yeah, we'll be watching out for that. Nice to see Heno Fenter on with us this evening. Great to have you on board with us. Yeah, I see you're screaming for Foss at the moment. That's an interesting one. Yeah, we'll see how he's doing. Nice to see him back racing. He did have an invite to come and race for the SAAOLR guys, so that's fantastic. It's very limited from a seat point of view. Obviously, lots of drivers want to participate in this championship, and obviously we do have a couple of reserves. So you know, not looking down on these reserves. I mean, some of these reserves are superb drivers. It's just obviously the clubs are looking at who they can put in from their top and strongest drivers. And obviously, if somebody can't make it, they look to having the next strongest driver. But it gives them an opportunity, because if that reserve driver is performing very well, then obviously he can get a position or a seat promotion. And that's what the guys are trying to do, trying to get themselves into that seat promotion to see if they. So surely if these guys start winning, this is obviously what it's all about. It's getting these guys into a particular space where they're able and competing for that seat here at the club championships. So great. Oh, thank you very much. And he calls me uncle as well, you know. I mean, what respect. But thank you, Heno, for that birthday wish. Yes, it is my birthday today. But you know, it's all about the racing. That's the most important thing there. And thank you very much. Oh, there we go. Hugh Boucher, I see you're on watching. Unfortunately, you weren't able to make it this evening because I believe you're not too well. So I'm hoping that you get better so we can see you back in your seat here with the SAAOLR boys. So you got Foss racing for you this evening. Hopefully that obviously gives you a chance to come out strong and get well. But then again, you could have some new competition looking at your seat at the moment. So I'm sure you're a little bit worried at the moment. But anyway, we'll go from there. It looks as though
coming down far.
Yeah.
Look at the top two there, exactly the same time, 121, 367. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Gav Pig moved up there as well as Motor DW. He's done a fantastic time, but I'm sure that's not going to be all. I mean, if you look at the 21s there, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 121s. Oh, that was a little bit sideways from Gav Pig there. He's got to watch himself. I'm sure he's going to be trying to push it as quickly as possible, but he's got to watch himself. If you lose it just by a hair here, you're going off the track anyway. So I'm sure he'll be watching out for that as well. Yeah, so if you are watching on the stream, guys, what do you think is going to be the qualification time? You've got already an indication. Remember, they're on the super softs at the moment, but what do you think? Give us a time. What do you think the time is going to be on the quali 3? What do you think is going to be the pole position time this evening? I'm sort of predicting probably a 118, 119. I reckon, and you can hold me to that. I reckon one of these guys is going to be doing probably in the let's say the 118s. We'll see what happens, but I'm pretty confident they can get up to that sort of speed once they have everything set up. Remember, they're going in, setting up what they need to do, and getting out here and performing. So let's see what they do.
Looks like the top 15 is shown up at this point. Thomas is 2 seconds behind. I'm getting through. We've got 2 retired, Force and Toki. And Thomas has just retired, so the top 15 is now being settled.
Yeah, well, with basically 48 seconds to go, obviously the guys are starting to just put themselves at rest, especially the guys that are in the top 15. They've already achieved that. It looks as though, unfortunately, Thomas is going to be out, as well as TNB Force, and then also Toki seems to be out of this quali. For sure, I don't know what happened there, but I think what we'll do is try and get hold of him and see what happened and what exactly went wrong with his drive.
I did see Toki. I did see Toki lock up a couple of times. He locked up pretty bad. I don't think he locked off, but he basically locked up his wheels on a couple of 5 turns. I don't think he recovered from that. They took it to 6 sessions.
So there you go. Nesmax comes back right at the end there and puts in a 1 minute 21.065. So he ends up as the quali 1 top man, then followed by one of his club members, which is Motor DW, then Gav Pig, then Munna. So the first 4 guys there are from the TNB team. And then obviously the first guy from SAAOLR is the Sackman. Then you've got the South African Academy Online Racing guy, which is Wazzy. He's there in 6th. 7th for the Easy Riders is Vino for Real. Then another Vino for Real driver is Pete Ballas. And then you've got another SAAOLR member, which is Marius, then Dylan, and then you've got the guys from the Sims Racing stuff. So, yep, it seems to be that the guys are going to be looking where they are. Yeah, there we go. So Hugh Boucher reckons probably 1 minute and 19 seconds is going to be the pole position time. I am inclined to agree with you, but I think we'll probably see some really quick times in the next session, and then when we get out to the full qualification session, then we'll see the guys start to rock. Well, Nesmax, as I said, Motor DW, Gav Pig, then we've got the Munna 303, Sackman, Wezzy, Weza. We've got Vina for Real, we've got Pete Ballas, and then we have not had enough time to look else what is going down there. But anyway, those are the guys in the top 8 positions. So now we go to 15 drivers. There they are. They've got 14 minutes, 15 minutes in this session, but it starts immediately. So they need to get out there as soon as possible and start driving their way around this track in order to ensure they get themselves into the top 10. So we've gone from the 20 drivers down to 15 drivers, and then in the third qualification session it's down to the last 10, and that's where the guys want to be. They want to ensure that they get themselves into that position.
Got an incoming weather report. Currently the qualifying will be dry, but the race will be full. It should complicate things slightly.
Just quickly on board with Tix. Nice to have him back. Last week, as I mentioned, he was unavailable, but he's back this week. Let's see what sort of times he's going to be doing at this Italian Grand Prix. We'll keep you on board with him at the moment, and let's see what he's up to and how is he going to be driving. I think what we'll do is quickly pop in on the head cam. You can see he's just passed somebody there. And we'll see how he's going to do on his outer lap. Remember, 13 minutes left in this session. Everybody wanting to make sure they make that top 10 position. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch.
A couple of drivers have gone up in the softs. This is where race strategy comes in, so this is the nice tyre that you'll be starting your race on. You'll pass the safety on this qualification tyre. So Gas Pig is going out in soft, and Zero for Real on soft, and Roger DW on soft. selector calls have a wet race like we've been informed it should be, which means tire choice is limited to your wet tires to start off with, so it doesn't really matter. So we've got that in the six our fastest lap, Pac-Man in second place. Ooh, nasty accident there. Looks like he survived it. Looks like a Red Bull. With Gav practicing his excellence game. The yellow flag in sector 2, it means Gavin was off the road and he's letting home some damage to the car. Maybe the top in this section goes through. Duke it out for the pole position start on the front.
So just a big shout out also to everybody that has subscribed to the South African Academy Online Racing channel. Thank you very much. We hit the 100 mark, so fantastic. I got a nice message from the guys at YouTube congratulating our channel in achieving 100 subscribers. So that's a big achievement for us. Thank you very much to all of those who are subscribing currently to the channel. It's great to have you and your support for South African online racing in South Africa. We appreciate your support. So also just push it out to everybody you know. Let's see if we can break that record. As I said, we'd like to get also what an amazing week it's been. We've had quite a number of views. I think around about 115 views, so that's great stuff. All in the name of uplifting the sport here in South Africa, and it's great to be a part of that as well. There, a horse off at the moment. I think it's Marius. He's coming back, so wow. Or very close for him at the moment. He's in 6th position. So he's going to make quali number 3 if he currently stands off there in position number 6. And there we go. Right on top of the leaderboard is Wasi. Very nice from him. He's put in a 1 minute 21.634. So very nice from him. Looks as though Vino for real has put on a 21.661. And then also Pete Bullis coming out and doing a nice drive there at 121.863. So getting closer to that 1 minute 19, guys, as you mentioned. Foss he's obviously not in this round. I know there has been a number of guys saying go Fossey, but unfortunately he's out of this qualification round. And then right down there, which is quite surprising, Gav Pig at a 122.383. So sun's still shining here in Italy for this Italy Grand Prix of the South African Club Championships, and it's great to see the guys putting themselves on the line, trying to get their times up. I'm sure lots of adjustments are happening in the pits at the moment, trying to get these cars to go even faster around this track, as well as just probably looking on the monitors inside the pits of who is where and doing what. That's all happening this evening.
Derek, just a note to note there, for real time 1.6 was done on soft. The other top times all on super softs. I'm currently on board with Springbok Red Gamer, who hasn't set up a time yet. He's on hot lap. So far 1 minute 6 seconds, entering 63. That's close to setting up his time. Coming around the last corner, up across the line on a 123.2, so he's sitting at 13. This next has completed the pits, he bolted his lap. So the only one suffered not to set the time is Nidmax. But he's been labelled as the classic sandbagger, he'll wait for the last second to put up a time. And Nizak has just come up without lap. I'll be following with the lap just to see what's going on there. Sitting with the traffic, I'll get out of his way. The Munna is sitting with the fastest time of 1:01.3.
So basically 2 minutes left on this particular quali 2, and there you see Muna coming in there, very nicely done. He's obviously put himself into a lovely position with a time of 1 minute 21.369, and then obviously you can see his teammate also pushes up. Oh, he's just pushed, his teammate has just pushed himself in front of the Munna at the moment with a 21.164. So nice time from him. Obviously down to the last minute and 23 seconds now on this particular quali number 2. Obviously top 10 going through, so a lot of individuals trying to make sure that they get themselves into that position where they put themselves into the last qualification session, and that's all happening right in front of our very eyes at the moment. So very cool.
Next coming around last corner, he's about to set up the time. Let's see where he can end up. 121.1.
Yeah, Nesmax comes in there at a 121.156, as you heard from Staff there. So very nicely done from him. He's obviously put himself into a fantastic position. So great stuff from him, and nice to see that going and happening. So there we go. It's done and dusted. Quali number 2 finished. Just around about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. And as you can see, the top 10 there looking very nice. Dylan makes it through, as well as Gav Pig. Is there anybody that's going to come up now and take over and push Dylan under? It looks as though the following are not going to make it through. And that's Skadonks, Ronald LaRue, Springbok Gamer, Sack, as well as the Iceman, SR Iceman. Not going to make it through to the final qualification session, which is quali number 3. Remember, this is where they're going to be going and trying to make themselves top dog of this race, which is actually here in Italy at the moment, at the Monza circuit. GP circuit.
Beckman was a little disappointed after setting a P1 time of 121. Not making the top 10 in quali 2.
Can't agree with you more, Steph. I think he's obviously didn't find that little extra time that he was looking for, because he did exceptionally well in quali number 1. But now I don't think he's going to be able to get up there, and he's also done there as well.
The radio chats are going on here. People wondering what kind of setups they've been setting, because the race will be wet, so they're wondering whether they're doing the qualies in the wet setups. Which would explain the times not being down to 119. Wet setups would give you a 121s with that. Nina says he's not using wet setup. Muna says he's using a snow setup.
So I don't know if we got any news what the weather report is going to be. Hopefully it's going to be sunny. But let's just take you through the positions as we stand right now. It's on the screen. It's Nesmax. It's Motor DW. It's the Muna. It's Wazzy. It's Vina for real. It's Pete Ballas in 6th position. Tix. Marius in 8th. Gav Pig in 9th. And then Dylan from Soccer Racing, he is in 10th position. So those not going through were Skadonks, Ronald LaRue. They were not able to make it through, so quite an interesting one that was for them. Unfortunately, they didn't make it through, so here we are. Here's the top 10. Vina for real, Tix, Dylan the Munna, Pete Bullis, nice job from him. Hasn't been with us for some time, so great performance from him. We've got Marius, Gav Pig, Nesmax, we have TNB Wasi, and then Motor DW. They are all through. 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and that's obviously going to put them now into overdrive to see who is going to be in pole position here this evening for the Italian Grand Prix. Remember this, you are now watching the South African Academy Online Racing Club Championship Season 4. All the clubs that are representative this evening, obviously you can go to the webpage, find exactly where they are operating, and obviously get involved there and see what's available. So great to have you on board with us. And it looks as though it's going to be a full wet race. Is that correct?
That's what the drivers are reporting on my side. Start questioning what setup they're using for the dry bits at the moment. Muno reported he's using a full snow setup apparently. Vino reported he's using a dry setup at the moment.
Looks as though Vino for real lost it coming out of that corner in a big way, but no damage seems to have happened there, so he did manage to pull it through. I'm sure he got a bit nervous there. I saw those hands flicking backwards and forwards to keep that car on the road, but he is going to have to go out and put an outer lap, and that's going to happen now. Round about 9 minutes left in this quali 3, so we'll be interested to see who's going to be doing what and where. Let's go on board with Tux at the moment, see where he is. Obviously somebody off the track there, so slowed him right down. And there we go, Muna with a 21.102. Weza obviously coming off there. Aston Martin Red Bull puts up the fastest time, which is a 1:20. So we're a second off our prediction. But Nesmax goes with that 1:26.92. Excellent stuff from him. Pete Bullis in the Williams, looking to see if he can put up a time that can be counted for. On board with Pete Bullis at the moment. Let's see what sort of times he can put up with. He's going deep into the corner. This is just before the start and finish. Remember, it does get a bit wonky towards the end here. Manages to control it nicely. Comes through with that time of 1:21.837. So, which puts him in 4th position on the grid at the moment. Is that where he's going to be? At the moment, let's
And once he puts in a 121.4.
Which obviously
Pete Ball
dethrones that fourth position. So there you go. Pete Ball is down to fifth at the moment. But surprisingly, you've got Motor DW. He's down in sixth at the moment. And here we're on board now with Motor DW. He's trying to get himself back up the grid. Coming into this last section now on the 150 mark, pulls in nice and deep, coming through. Let's see if he can hold it tight. He is holding it tight. He's pushing, he's got a good line, but he's going into the pits, unfortunately. So let's see what Marius has got up his sleeve. In the Haas at the moment, he's come back nicely. This is 2 weeks in a row that he's made the top 10, so nice driving from him. It looks as though, I lost it there, and that's just what happens when you get on the curb. You get on the curb, this car is going to go sideways. Still got some time, depending on the fuel. Let's go down to Tux at the moment. He's now going to try and see if he can push his way up the grid at the moment. We've got Vino for real in the pits.
Marius has just been disqualified from the session for parking in a dangerous position.
Oh, I'm sure he's not going to be too happy about that. Oh, he's trying to get into the pits. We're on board with Vino for real now. Let's see what he can do. This Monza track, it looks to be nice and long and slinky, but I tell you what, when you come up to these S-bends like what he's doing right now, it can get a little bit sideways with the car. But he seems to be doing a nice job at the moment. Pushing it through superbly. Oh, a little bit there wayward from Vino for real. Seems to have brought it back. Splendid driving. Manages to keep that all together around that little S-bend series there. Here he comes into the 50 mark, tucks in deep. Oh, it's going to be a little bit wide. This could affect his time. Is he going to go over that line? No, he doesn't. But he seems to push it through here through start and finish. Oh, up. He's in fifth position at the moment in a 1 minute 21.363. So that was Vino for real's almost his final run. Can he come back now to see if he can push it through to get where he wants to be? Can he come back now even faster in this sector than he was in the last? Seems as though somebody's off in sector 2. pushing it through. It's going to be tight here. A little bit on the brakes, pushes it wide. Seems to have that under control. Here it comes again. Now he's going to go into the DRS zone. Gets that DRS working for him. Somebody off in sector 3. Hopefully that's not going to affect him too much. Now this is where he's going to push it a little bit wider. Goes past Munna. Munna currently in second position on the grid at the moment. Yeah, he slacked off a little bit too much on this one. Pushes his way through. Does he go faster? Yes, he does. He goes and puts himself into second position on the grid. Fantastic job from Vino for real now. He's done a lovely job in that Force India car. As I said, going to be renamed in our next season as Race Point. So well done for him on that one. Gav Pig in third position, and you won't believe that they've actually done it in exactly the same time. So Vino for real and Gav Pig have exactly the same time, which is a 1 minute 27.97.
The same time Gav Pig equals somebody else's time.
Dylan seems to be racing on the racing line there. Gav Pig had to go around him. Gav Pig then now pushes his way up into second position on the pole. From the pole, Nesmax holding the pole position at the moment. So he's done himself. Munna's coming back now, but he's already done. So he's not going to influence much on that. But this gentleman does have the opportunity. And let's get on board with him now to see if he goes even one little step further. Down into fourth. Powers down the fourth. And going... Does he? Oh, look at that! Oh, I didn't see there, but it looked as though, yes, he does. Nesmax takes it back from, Wazzy was up to that pole position, so it looks as though it's going to be, in my understanding, it looks as though it's going to be Nesmax, Weza, yes it is, Wazzy, should I say, Wazzy, should I say, Gav Pig, Vino for real, the Munna, DW, and then it's going to be Pete Bullis, Dylan in 8th position, Tix in 9th, and Marius in 10th. But I don't know what happens now because Marius didn't seem to qualify. He was disqualified in the pits. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to drive. Got stuck in the pit wall, which is sometimes a problem.
You'll start from 10th as far as I understand.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is where it gets all exciting. We have full wet racing happening, and this just makes it extremely difficult for all.
I see Dan has joined us late. He's now in the party, in the group.
Dan's in. The question is now, is Wes trying to get in? And, oopsie, let me not do that. Let me see. And let me see what's actually happening here. Okay, so they're all on wets at the moment. Just having a look. Dan's in. Unfortunately, he's been given a Williams for some reason.
Is any car left, I think?
Yep.
No, it can't be.
No. It might be that Wes is trying to get in, but he can't because... but we're on.
Almost left.
Now this is going to be an interesting race for all.
Oh, no DQs already. Luckily it's only formation lap.
Yeah, that's what happens in the wet.
I think there's still a space left for Wesley if he's going to join. There's 19 drivers, but 6 spaces. There should be one more space.
I don't think Wes is going to make it.
No, don't think so either.
Which obviously means that the South African Academy Online Racing guys have one less teammate in the start of this race. So this is a 27 lap race in the wet. I think a lot of people are going to be hoping that the rain is going to be gone and that there's going to be at least some sunshine.
Dave, now that Dan is in, actually the SAAOLR team's full.
That's right.
It's only easy riders that are 1-4 upper.
So Steph, I think what's going to happen, you might have to just be viewing the last or the middle crowd, and we'll be having a look at the front just to see what's going there. So Dylan has been able to join back into the game, so that's a good thing. He did get disconnected, so he's back. Hopefully he's on the grid at the moment. I'm with Nesmax at the moment. We just want to see. We obviously know what the tires are going to be like. Let's have a look in the change in positions. We're going to just put the geometry on, as well as put also enable the lap data, so we can see who's going to be where and what. So we've got 5 red lights. When these go off, they're going to be away.
I'm hoping it's a lag start. It's a very lag start.
It is a lag stock. There's a bit of pushing at the moment. Looks as though some serious damage to some cars, and obviously that's the result of the wet weather. So hopefully, if this goes to be at the moment, you can see Wazzy seems to be pushing his way out to the front. Nesmax is down into second position. It looks as though the Munna has gone up 2 places. Vino for real. I don't know if his car is... Yes, he seems to be okay, but there is a lot of damage that has been done to some of these cars at the moment, so I'm wondering what's going to be happening to them and if they're going to be going in there. Munna seems to be going up a position again. Vino for real's gone down. It looks as though Motor DW is also not too much worried there. He's gained a position. Looks as though somebody else is dropping down quite severely there. It looks like Tix has been damaged quite severely, so we could see him going in and having some repair. Dan seems to be coming up quite quickly. He's moved up 5 positions so far, as well as Tix. Tux is also up 3 positions at the moment, and then Springbok Gamer 4 positions, as well as Sackman. So yeah, there seems to be quite a bit of movement happening on this racetrack. Let's have a look. Let's go down the line at the moment. obviously to see. Here we're on board with Skadonks in the Ferrari at the moment for Sim Stuff Racing.
We have our first retirement. Thomas retired.
Thomas, he's retired. He seems
got a 5-second stop go penalty.
Did not finish there.
Oh. Somebody coming through that barrier. Muna.
Yeah, they're coming. They've got to watch themselves not to get too close. Car number 21 is Springbok Gamer at the moment, and you can see it looks as though they've got to really hang on to themselves on this track, because a hell of a lot of movement. And also remember, they've got to watch their fuel, because if they're wheel spinning, it's going to obviously affect the fuel load. And as we know, there's no refueling. And the braking, they're missing all the braking points at the moment.
Marius 3-second penalty, corner cutting. Winner received a 5-second stop go penalty as well.
So we can see some severe damage on the Sackman's car at the moment. He's got an indication just to get himself in to a pit lane where he can get some repair at the moment. Springbok Gamer, he hasn't moved a position. He's started in 13th and he's remained in 13th in that Renault at the moment. So he seems to be sort of going around nursing that vehicle at the moment. Let's go up to Pete Bullis and what's happening between him and Motor DW. And behind him you've got Gav Pig. He seems to be...
As well.
Say again there?
It looks like the force left the session as well, although the car is carrying on, so he might return. Out of all that carnage so far, nobody has got to the pits except for the force.
Yeah, Foss, it says on an outer lap, so I'm wondering what that's about. I don't think he got out of the pits.
Okay, my time screen says he's done all stop. Williams just entered the pit. Repaired some damage.
As you can see, a heck of a lot of rain coming down at the moment. We're on board. We're on board with Gav Pig at the moment. He's just nursing this car around at the moment. Wazzy puts on the fastest lap time at the moment, 1:33.812. So nice time from him. Nesmax 4 seconds now. Let's just make our way up to the top there. Just see who's where. You can see them sliding around like crazy at the moment. So this is a really interesting little piece of action that we're watching here.
Nice battle going on between Pete Bullis and Gav. They passed each other twice in the space of 2 corners. Actually, Dan's catching Ronald quite quickly. We never real another 3-second time penalty. Must be coming down to the back of time penalty here.
Just moving down now to where Dan is. Dan's in 10th position. He's got a hell of a lot of traffic in front of him. But I'm sure he's going to be looking to get himself past these guys. Dan is racing for the South African Academy Online Racing Boys.
Pete Bullis just passed Jennifer for real, the 5th position.
Yeah, position gone up there. Here comes Tux. Seems to be up 1 place, but you've got Ronald LaRue, I don't know if it's lag, but he's swerving around like crazy here. I think trying to keep this car in the right place at the moment, which I think he's battling to do. But we'll see what actually happens. He's gone up 3 places. Dan's gone up 9 positions at the moment, starting right from the back of the grid. He did join late, but great to see him with us at the moment. Oh, such a under braking. He's probably finishing those tires off. Huge lock on the brakes there. And pushing them way back at the moment. So yeah, great stuff from him at the moment coming through. As you can see, Dan looking to see if he can get past. I think it's a bit difficult under this wet conditions. And just to give you an indication of what it looks like, there we go. And just behind him, as I said, is this gentleman, Dan. He's on his tails at the moment. He's got 2 guys to contend with. There is enough room to get past. It looks as though he's gone past. He's followed Ronald through there. Ronald seems to have been disconnected. I could see that happening. So he's out. Dan's now up 11 positions from where he started.
I just waited to join the channel. I think it's a bit late to the race, but I think he's going to get a car. And Toki is out. No DNF there.
Toki's as well. Let's see if we can get Toki's into the chat if you can. I can't invite him at the moment, staff, because we're busy watching, but if you can probably try and get him into the chat as well. Let's see if we can get him in.
Okay.
Dan doing exceptionally well. He's quite some time behind. Let's just go up to the main top 3, or top 5 should I say. Let's move up there. Here is the gentleman leading this Grand Prix at the moment. 6 laps done of 27 laps, and you can see how he's handling this wet. Now I know a little secret about Wazzy is he loves to race in the wet, so this is suiting him right down to the absolute end of time. Gav Pig's just got a 3-second penalty. Wazzy's just put on another fastest time. So let's just go quickly down to Nesmax. Nesmax is about 5 seconds behind Wazzy at the moment. Then you've got the Munna. Here we are in sector 1 at the moment. Let's see how he does from a time perspective of where he is. Just pushing him through there. So where is he from the leader at the moment? 5 seconds off the leader. Positions and stops at the moment. There was somebody on the side. I didn't quite catch who that was because I'm busy trying to just set up where we are and who we're watching. Telematics are on.
With another, was he another fastest lap? 133.
See that slight lock? He goes for it. Oh, this is not good for him. Teammate goes past. So Nesmax lost it now. He's dropping down in positions. He's trying to get back onto the track without causing any accidents. So he's back on the track. A little bit wide there. Here we go. The Muna's wheel spinning this car, trying to get it back into the dry area.
We've got another retirement. Six is up.
Tix also not able to finish this race. It is so difficult, and you can see there the Muna also off, but we'll see how it's going between them. They're 12 seconds away. I mean, you can see the class as well as the ability of these drivers coming through and what they're doing. Brilliant stuff from their side. We've just been joined by Tux, SR Toki, should I say? Toki. He
Hi,
is
guys.
from the Sims Racing stuff at the moment. I'm just watching here. Hey Tox, what happened? Tell us what occurred, man.
It's snotty out there, my friend. It is extremely slippery, and I just overcooked it.
I mean, it's
I
not
made
the
some
best
throttle
conditions.
attachments.
It's not the best conditions to drive in at the moment, but I can tell you what.
You think?
I mean, I'm just watching the top three drivers at the moment, and it looks as though Wesa has, or should I say Wazzy, has just put on now 2 fastest laps.
Well, it doesn't look like the rain's going to dissipate at all.
No, I think it's like that for the whole race. I've just gone through the driver list and I think there's only 4 drivers without a penalty. Motor, DW, Max, Dan and Ronald.
Wow. Gav Pig is out of the race, guys. Gav Pig, unfortunately, he's also cooked it. And we've now got 4 DNFs.
1 point, swing it off.
Not the easiest conditions to drive in, and as you can hear from one of the guys that was participating, Tokis, he'll tell you this was not the way to go. Tell me a little bit about your team at the moment. Who have you got racing for you?
I've got Louis, Iceman, Kedonks, aka Lucas, and then Samoth Thomas. Louis being the more senior of us 4, and yeah, I mean we're new to the all of us are new to the F1. Donkey's been in it for a bit, but yeah, we're just feeling our feet. We're trying to find our feet at the moment.
I don't think the expectation was going to be wet weather. I think obviously a lot of you guys practiced in the dry, which obviously is nice. But you know, this is this is one of those things where we get around to actually, come on guys, we need to have a dry setup and a wet setup.
I had no idea that this was gonna. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that's disappointing. But
yeah,
you know,
I think
you can succeed to the level of preparation.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's all about prep work. You'll find that most of the top drivers in this competition will definitely have, I can tell you right now, will have a dry and a wet setup. And as you mentioned, I mean, Dan, look at Dan. Dan is actually coming up so super quick at the moment. He's come up from basically 22 on the grid, and he's now up to 4th.
Kedonks and Spindletone having a nice little day.
Like a wise man said to me one day, manage your expectations.
Absolutely. I mean, for you, it's your first real season in F1, as far as I understand. I mean, you've obviously put a team together. I know Skedonks, Iceman. I think he's a veteran of online racing as well. You've got obviously
he's
Thomas.
got a good pedigree.
Yeah, Thomas. I mean, last season, he was the rookie of F1, so he's actually come a long way. A lot of backbone there. Doesn't give in. Carries on nevertheless.
Iceman, actually, I think it was in the Gran Turismo 6, or no, not 6, 5 or 4, with the Nissan Academy. He went all the way to Silverstone.
Fantastic.
So he's got quite a bit of experience.
So you've got some pedigree races within your team.
I was very happy to effectively sign him up.
Great stuff. I'm just watching Muna now. He's really sort of settled down. He's pushing a little bit on the limits here, and obviously trying to get. He's 13 seconds behind Wasi at the moment, who seems to be handling himself very nicely at the moment, and he's put himself in a great position. If I look where he's currently coming up on back markers. He's got Vino for real in front of him, who's in 12th. So he's already gone through 13, 14 and 15. So let's have a look. Where is Foss? So Foss is actually in the race at the moment. He's right, but I think he's ghosting. So he's not actually in this race. On with Dylan from Sarko Racing at the moment. He's sitting down in 14th. Now I know that he had some issues off the start.
Oh, Iceman 10 second penalty.
Oh, it looks as though it might be. Oh, that front nose cone has gone. Marius down in 13th position at the moment. Then you've got Vino for real. He's sitting down in 12th position. He goes past Iceman at the moment. Then you have, a little bit wide there from Sackman, but I can tell you what, it's like ice skating at the moment. I'm just going to push this way.
Nice. Ooh.
Kidon is on Snowmobile game with rear end, hopefully 5 seconds behind. Fastest lap again, but 1:33.7.
For a moment there, I forgot that I sang you happy birthday this morning.
So as you can see, Muna coming out of third position, out of the pits at the moment. There's a blue flag on him, and he's just looking to see. Dan's now into third spot. He's pushed his way. He's 22 seconds off the leader at the moment, but still in the hunt. Looking to come back in this championship at the moment. So at the moment we have just in front of him is this gentleman who's doing exceptionally well, and that is Motor DW. He's on still 18 seconds behind the main leader, and then as you can see Dan is in third position and he's 21 seconds off the pace of the leader at the moment. So there you go. Lots still in this race at the moment. 15 drivers in this race at the moment. So there you go. It looks as though Vino for real has just taken sack because he's gone into the pits. And there we go. At the moment, DW coming in to the pits. I hope there's going to be no incidences here, because he needs to be quite quick, because Dan is coming up super quick on him, and there could be, he's going to be looking to see, is he going in? Race control gives. That was a very quick pit stop from Motor DW. Dan goes into second position at the moment. The Munna now. The Munna's.
Do they have to go to a pit stop or not?
Yep.
Are they able to go without the race, without a stop if they're one way?
No, they have to go in for a pit.
Okay, pit stop mandatory. Thank you.
Yeah, pit stop is mandatory.
Everybody that compete in SAAOR, I just want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Thanks.
And you were spoiled rotten, and then I'm gonna say goodbye and go and cry myself to sleep.
Talks, thanks for joining us in the commentary box. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, and thanks for the time, man. We do appreciate it.
Sweet. Okay, thanks.
All right, man.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Everybody's done a pit stop except for Wazzy and them.
Yeah, there we go. Nice to have the leader of the guys from Sim Stuff Racing with us. So that was Toki's. Great stuff from him this evening. He wasn't expecting the weather to be like this, and it obviously changes the entire dynamics of what you need to do going around this track. But nicely done. We are in Italy. And what weather it is on this Monza GP track this evening. There we go. Nesmax comes back with a big one there. He's now put on the quickest time of 1 minute 33. I think it was 7:15 if I was not mistaken, but it was a bit quick for me to check that. But nicely done. But this gentleman, I can tell you now, you better watch yourself, because he's definitely going to want to put himself into one of the top positions this evening. Just to have a look at the director's report at the moment, just to see who's where and what's been happening. So it's still this gentleman who started from 19th and now has built his way up right through to second position. Obviously, Wazzy was in second place. Nesmax was in first, and he's down to fifth at the moment. So we're going to be watching what he's going to be doing. Let's go back on track with these guys at the moment. But you can see that distance is now 40 seconds. Anybody saying anything on the stream there?
No, I was just about to say, I've got a shout out for an old racer that used to be part of our league, old Acid Boy. He has joined us on the stream, says he misses racing.
Yeah, when is he coming back? That's the question, eh? picked up nicely, man. So if you are joining us on the stream, thanks very much. It's great to have you with us. Big shout out to all of you. Yep, unfortunately, Toki, what a throttle boy he was. And I don't think he was expecting the rain to be what it is. So very, very difficult for him in that respect. But as you can see, we've got Dan in the Williams this evening, but racing for the South African Academy Online Racing Club. And he's in second position. And then TNB Wasi, he's actually in first position. He's also racing for the South African Academy Online Racing Club. So he's done very well. We've got 4 did not finish DNFs. It's Gav, Pig, Tix, it looks like SR, Tox, and then Thomas. So they've had a bit of a blow there. And obviously this is vital for points anyway, because what you want to do is get your team members into those top spots, because that gives you guys, it gives your team the points which are collectively counted and obviously position you into the top spots. So here it's a little bit difficult, but it seems as though everybody seems to be getting themselves in the right place. And yeah, what a lot of fun this is. So if you are joining us via the stream, thanks for doing so, and hopefully you're having a great time as we are. I know obviously the weather conditions do make it quite exciting to watch, because they've actually, oh, that's very nice. Muna's just put on a 1 minute 33. It looked like a 383, so he's got himself in some points. If that stands, he'll be definitely getting some points for his team. Because what actually happens is the guy that gets the fastest lap time, a point is issued to the team.
And to the driver.
And to the driver, you're right.
Una is 11 seconds behind Dan, who as yet has not done a pit stop.
So Dan hasn't done a pit stop, is that what you're saying?
That's correct, he's the only one who hasn't.
I'm just going to check now, because this will tell me how many stops. So, yep, you are absolutely right. Dan still needs to do a pit stop, and it looks like Skadonks has done 2, as well as Sackman, as well as Dylan, and as well as Voss. Tires we know are wet. Position changes at the moment. Goes to Dan. 17 positions up. So he's literally come from the back there. Nice stuff from him. There we go, on Dan. See what he's doing in this particular sector. Seems to have a steady race going. Obviously well in reach of trying to get himself up with the guys there at the moment.
Ina for real has retired from the session. Another DNF of a big name.
He's a DNF, unfortunately. I don't know what happened.
Stuck in the middle of the crack. It's like me.
Just trying to see if we can pick him up. The sack man seems to be... Oh no, sack! Don't want to put you off, mate. Marius has just come past him now. As well as Dan is giving him the blue flag to get past. The Munna has just gone past him as well. He's on the slidey stuff, so he's got to keep on and keep himself on the track. Bits and pieces happening there. Marius is actually pitted now.
Nixon's lap was he 132.4.
Probably one of the most difficult races of these guys' careers at the moment. There's no racing line, so it's not going to give you an indication of where you should be on the track.
The Munna is now first Dan at quad pace. He's only 1 second behind him. If Dan had to pit now, he'd probably come out in fourth.
So we're going to be watching him to see what he's going to be doing. And I mean, the easiest way is to just have a look what he's doing.
I'm feeling a pit stop is not mandatory. He's not going to go for a pit stop. But at this rate, Munna will catch him.
He's definitely catching him. Oh, you can hear those wheels spinning at the moment.
It's definitely going to come down to time penalties, because as far as I can see, Dan has got no time penalties, whereas Munna has. The DW has no time penalties, and neither has Nismet, so they might catch Munna. Everyone's race, bar 1 to 7 has been left. Munna is dropping back a bit, now 2.7 seconds behind Dan.
So lap number 24 has just been completed by Wazzy at the moment. Seems to be in command of this race at the moment. Obviously coming up on the back markers, as you can see, he's got, I think it's LaRue in front of him. So he's going to be blue flagged any second. Just giving him an indication. Yes, there he goes. A little bit wide.
And Sackman's also up now.
Sackman out of this race as well, unfortunately.
It's another domination by dominating, yeah.
See if you can pull Sackman in. If you can invite him to the party, see if he'd join us. Just so we can find out what happened there. Obviously 16 seconds difference between first position and second position at the moment. So let's take you down a little bit down the track. Here is Marius, B70. He's obviously in 13th position at the moment, doing very nicely in this wet weather. I can tell you now, it's an absolute monster to drive in the wet. He's got blue flagged at the moment, so obviously one of the top runners is coming up behind him at the moment. He's going to try and maintain that position to see if he can hold it. He doesn't have to completely get out of the way, but he is being blue flagged at the moment, so we'll see what's going on there. Then it looks as though Foss is not in that car. You can see it's AI driving that at the moment. Then we're up to Dylan. Dylan still in this race. A little bit of a lock there. I'm sure he's going to hold it nicely, keep himself in the right place, which he's done now. He's coming through start and finish. And he's done himself some justice there. Slightly down on his third sector time there. But we're watching it. You can hear him braking a little bit earlier. And that's the thing. When it's wet, you have to brake a little bit earlier. Here's Skadonks. He's in 10th position. So he's in the points at the moment. Just in front of him is his teammate, Iceman. So he'll be looking to put himself and his teammate on at least the top 10 this evening, which will obviously affect their points. And they are racing for some racing in the Ferraris at the moment. You can see that huge lockup from the Iceman at the moment. Here is one of the South African Academy Online Racing drivers, which is Springbok Gamer at the moment. He seems to be doing quite nicely in the wet at the moment. Nice control, keeping it in the right place at the moment. He comes through that start-finish line. We're almost at the end of this race. If I go up and I look at Wazzy at the moment, he seems to be in lap number 26. Then we've got Pete Bullis. Pete Bullis, he's 46 seconds off the pace at the moment, but he's driving quite nicely. He's keeping it on the track. Seems to be having no particular issues with the car at the moment. Holding the lines, doing nicely. It looks as though Nesmax has pitted. He's coming out the pits at the moment. Is he going to be overtaken? Then we have Motor DW. He's driving this evening, obviously, for Toro Rosso in the Honda, keeping it nice and simple. Also nice lines, as you can see, going through these various corners and making sure. Just in front of him is the Munna, one of his teammates. Looks as though he's coming up on a Haas driver at the moment, so he's got to watch himself. Haas driver gets out of the way. Then Dan Carry on, Steph.
Sorry, I think that's next has just gone to the pit to try and get some fresh tires to get to the fastest lap here. He's got quite a buffer at the moment, so he's got the time to do so.
So here we go. Two drivers just behind him there.
They will complete the race with no tire change.
So let's have a look and see now. Lap number 27. Here we go. It's obviously Wazzy. He seems to be doing himself some justice there. He's got hardly any fuel left. I'm hoping he's not going to run out of fuel. Coming around the last section through start and finish, and he has taken this championship this evening for the South African Academy Online Racing as a team. And then behind him is another South African Academy Online Racing club member, who takes in second position at the moment. Then Muna in third.
The final lap of Ozzy was the fastest lap at 1:32.028.
Wow. There comes DW. Very nice stuff from him. Nesmax is down in 5th position at the moment. Let's stay on board with him because he's going to be finishing off. He's going to be in 5th position.
Let's see if he gets the fastest lap here. Definitely going for it. Going to be close.
So nicely done from him as well. And that completes this Grand Prix. There we go. Almost finished. We got 1 minute and 26 seconds. The guys are pulling off on the side of the track. Most of these guys have had a hell of a race this evening. Wow, what a race it's been. And as you can about to see now, there is Wazzy taking the top position at the moment. You can see, followed by obviously Dan in second position, and then Muna, I think he was in third position. So great to see him back racing. And I tell you what a time it was this evening to watch these guys drive and race each other in and under these conditions. It was absolutely horrific. You can see the rain as we were about to leave the track, and it was absolutely distorting for them. And a lot of drivers did not finish this race, but wow, and you can see the time penalties that were given there as well. So it looks as though we finish up this race with Wazzy, Dan, Muna, David, Nesmax, Ronald, Pete Ballas, Springbok Gamer. It goes to Skadonks, Iceman, Dylan in 11th position. It says here Foss in 12th and Marius in 13th, but I'm sure we're going to be changing that. And then obviously in 15th position was the Sackman. So fantastic to have you on board. Thank you for watching the live stream. It was a pleasure bringing you the South African Academy Online Racing this evening. And wow, it was. This is season 4. It's been fun to do it with you. And we'll see you next week where we continue with our race season. And I can tell you now, it's going to be an exciting one to watch. So thank you for watching and have a good evening.
Cheerios.
Cheerio from the both of us.